participants from around the world. I'm Fleur Bickford, Program Director and MC for Gold Learning. I'm chatting today with Christy Hendricks about her upcoming presentation for the Gold Learning Professional Development Day 2017, titled Enhanced Counseling Skills for the Lactation Educator. So Christy welcome. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Fleur. It's really good to be here again. I always enjoy participating in Gold, and I thank you for inviting me.
Well, you are very welcome, and we are always thrilled to have you with us. And to start with, maybe you can tell our delegates a little bit about yourself and maybe what you're currently working on these days.
Sure. Well, I think I need to go back a little bit to kind of give people an overview of how I got to where I am, because my background was actually in education. I was a teacher for about 15 years. And then I started getting into the lactation world because of my own experiences breastfeeding my children. And because I have that background, I wanted to help with education in our community. So I was able to apply and work for WIC. So I've been with the Department of Public Health and the Women, Infants, and Children program in the U.S. for about 15 years now. And I enjoy working on the curriculums in the WIC program and reaching my community. And that's really what I'm doing now. I do our free lactation consultations for the community in WIC, and I also teach their prenatal classes.
Oh, that's fantastic. So, of course, the focus of our day on September 6th is professional development. That's really what we're going to be looking at and talking about with all of our speakers. So, perhaps you can tell us a little bit about why you feel that improving counseling skills is an important part of professional development. I'd love to hear a little bit too about kind of your journey with that.
Sure. I think that even myself, when I was going and looking for help and support with my breastfeeding journey, I found a lot of people that were really well educated, well prepared to help, but weren't able to convey the message to me as a mom that had no experience with breastfeeding and really needed to have someone interpret all this information in a way that I could understand it. And so I think all my colleagues, we've done so much to attend conferences and we've invested so much in information so we can share it with the people we serve. But sometimes we hit a roadblock on how to translate what we know in a way that people that aren't in this field can understand it and can apply it to their lives. So I really feel that there is a need to communicate in a way that everybody understands it. Kind of put all the information on the bottom shelf where everybody can reach it. And then being able to assess the people we're speaking with, find out their needs, and speak to their concerns. And I really have a passion for that.
Oh, that's fantastic. And yeah, it's so interesting. I remember having that experience myself as well when I was a new mom. And despite the fact that I was also a nurse, it's such a different experience when it's your own child and you're in such a different place mentally, that whole right brain versus left brain. And when you're in that postpartum period, I really needed people to, just break things down and, yeah, kind of meet me where I was at the time. So I think that really is an important piece because I think you're right. Like as professionals, we are very educated. We have a lot of knowledge, and having to, we really do need to remember that, that's not the same place that the parents are coming from.
Right. Right. And my colleagues are all brilliant and I want their information. And sometimes I'm trying to figure out how I can understand it better. And I know that if they knew what I was capable of learning at the time, they could put it in terms that I could understand. And I think I had to do that so often with my students. I taught high school students and I had all of my information from my degree, but I had to put it in a way that these young adults could utilize it. And I think that's what we're doing in any profession that we're in. We're trying to figure out all the information we have and sharing it. And I believe when we're talking to other people, in fact, when I went in to have my baby, people assumed because I was educated and had a college degree that I would understand all this birth stuff. But it was a totally different arena for me. So I think we have to realize no matter who we're talking to, whether it's a nurse that just had a baby or whether it's someone that's not in the perinatal field, we need to be able to convey our message in a way that's very comprehensible.
Okay, wonderful. So I've had a chance, of course, to have a little bit of a sneak peek at your presentation, and I'm really excited about your presentation because you've got some really interesting stuff in there that is actually new to me, including stuff like circle charts and change talk. And so maybe
Good.
can you just very briefly give us a little bit of a sneak peek as to what you're going to be touching on during your presentation?
Sure. I believe there are so many really good tools that are out there that are available to help us with counseling and knowing how to use them and then deciding if you want to utilize them. There are some of the techniques that I use depending on who I'm speaking with and what they're comfortable with. Some of these tools are used to open conversations. They're just handy little devices that we can use to convey a message, get our information out there in a way that is enjoyable and fun, and also looking for change talk. Sometimes we spend a lot of time talking to our clients and they're really not even ready for change. So being able to evaluate during a conversation who's ready to hear our recommendations or who's willing and ready to change.
Yeah, that's so interesting, and I really look forward to learning more about that from you because that's really interesting point and a important one that, you know, we can present all this information, but if the parents aren't in a place where they're ready to hear it,
Yeah.
it doesn't make much of a difference. Yeah. So interesting. Okay, so as we finish up here, can you just tell me a little bit about what do you hope delegates are going to take away from your presentation and be able to take back and apply to their own practices?
I think the main thing is just some more tools, some more options that they know might be out there and how to utilize those tools and um, in their particular counseling scenarios. I know, like I said, everybody has so much great information, and sometimes you get to a roadblock like, how can I convey this information? So we're just going to give you some more tools and maybe even get some input from other people on tools that they're using because we're all in this together and hoping to educate and support our families.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Having more tools in our toolbox is always a wonderful thing. So, really looking forward to your presentation. For our delegates who are listening, you can hear more from Christy Joe during her live presentation on September 6th, and that is part of our Gold Learning Professional Development Day. And her title for her talk is Enhanced Counseling Skills for the Lactation Educator. So thanks so much everyone for listening. We look forward to seeing you on September 6th. Bye for now.